For the Americans, this is the number one hack that had got me from doing 10 pull-ups body weight to being able to do 6 pull-ups, but with 90 added pounds to my body, which is absolutely a huge difference. I weigh 140 pounds, just for reference. I'm 16 years old, not a very old guy, not a very heavy guy, but I'm able to move a ton of weight. So just listen to what I have to say for now, because I'm sure just this tiny couple little tweaks, I'll be going over a couple things, but the one main thing is going to completely shift how you view things. There are a couple reasons why people stop making progress in calisthenics, and especially Americans, which I've noticed because I'm around this space a lot, and I've talked to a bunch of Europeans and I've talked to a bunch of Americans. The number one thing that stops people from progressing is satisfaction, which all of you know. I'm not teaching you anything new here, just bear with me. Is satisfaction. But you notice that the Americans get satisfied a lot faster than the Europeans, which is strange, which makes sense because the Europeans, you have the Russians, the Ukrainians, you have the people from Spain, from France. All these people are like known nationally to be somewhat tough people. But I know some killers in America who can't even do 100 pounds on weighted pull-ups or a few reps. And these people are a lot older than me as well. So it's not just me being hypocritical, because I can technically do that. I can do what we call a few reps, but I'll probably do like 4 reps, 5 reps. Tomorrow's workout, I'm going to go for 6 reps, but I'm not sure if I'm going to hit that. I might hit 5, something around those lines. But let's say I can do 6 reps just because I want to trick myself into believing that I can. What I've noticed is the Americans typically plateau around very specific numbers. They plateau around 50, 60, 80, and 100 pounds for reps. What is it online? Because the majority of people who do street lifting, which is like weighted calisthenics, the majority of people who do street lifting are Europeans. What are the numbers that you see people hit most often when you see, like on social media, people lifting weight? 50 kilograms, 60 kilograms, 80 kilograms, and 100 kilograms for however many reps they do. 100 kilograms, it's rare to see someone do reps, but sometimes they do, and those people are really strong. That's like Ludo Adams, Matthew Zlat, and one other guy, I can't think of the name. They're the same numbers, very different units of measurements. If you don't know, a kilogram compared to a pound is 2.2 pounds, 2.24 pounds, I believe, or 2.204, something along those lines. So I realized I'm comparing myself to all the people I see on social media, all the people that quote unquote inspire me, but I'm using a different unit of measurement. And I walk around, I see all the Americans, I'm just as strong as them. I'm stronger than most of them, especially for my age. I look around going, I'm the man. And with the Europeans, their number isn't a lot bigger than mine, even though I know in my head that kilograms is bigger than pounds. I know in my head that it's different. But my lizard brain, the little like part of your brain that kind of like copes and gives yourself excuses, thinks, oh, we're about the same. He's lifting 70 kilos. He's lifting 80 kilos. I'm lifting 80 pounds. Same thing. So I did an experiment. Over the past month, I have switched in like my notes app on my phone, how I track like my workouts. I use the app called Fit Notes. If you use the app Strong, or I heard a lot of people also use this other one called like Liftosaurus or something, which I think is stupid. That's more of a bodybuilding one. If you do straight lifting, I don't recommend you use that because I've tried it. It's shit. But I've noticed I switched all of my lift to kilos, and my weighted pull-ups went from what was around 60 pounds, 70 pounds, down to 30 kilos. Now I'm realizing when I see the people on social media and on the internet and all these Europeans that I'm friends with who are just crazy strong, I'm realizing, wow, I'm like half the strength of these guys. That not only motivated me to start a new method of getting stronger, but it also motivated me to want a lot more when it came to my workouts. Because how it works is when you're satisfied, it's just impossible to train hard, or as hard as someone who's not satisfied. If you look at Conor McGregor when he started his career, he was a killer. He was in the gym every day. He was training. He was working as hard as he could. He was just murdering people constantly with how hard he worked and his techniques and how precise he was. Now in his career, he's a drunk who's on coke all the time because he has all the money, he has all the fame. He doesn't really care about fighting anymore. So who cares? Nobody's really better than Prime Connor at that time, during his time. You could argue Khabib, but he was already long gone when he had fought Khabib. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'd want Connor to win because I like him more. But Khabib probably would have won if we want to go there. The Europeans, they see it opposite to how Americans do. So they see someone lift 200 pounds, which is like 80 or 90 kilos, and they go, wow, 200 pounds, 200's a really big number. The 200 kilos is like 440 pounds. They have it backwards. So my tip for you, if you've noticed yourself plateauing for a little bit, it isn't to do a new method. It's not to do a deload and then work. You can obviously try these things. I'm not saying don't, because this is what I did during this period, and that also contributed to my progress. But this little tiny mindset shift. In your notes app, switch pounds to kilos. Because if you do weighted calisthenics especially, and street lifting especially, if you're like an American, you're comparing yourself. All the best street lifters are in Europe. None of them are in America. So the Americans don't look that distant. And also, the Europeans, their numbers are about the same, because 80 kilos and 80 pounds looks the same. The only difference is pounds versus kilos. Make sense? Another thing, if we want to go into like satisfaction, just for the sake, again, this video to 10 minutes, just because I have 10 minutes left of recording time on my phone, because I actually sell a course. You can join my community, like in the link below. It's called Get Us Out. The entire point of it is to get you out of a life that you don't like and into a life that you do like, starting with calisthenics. That's my advertisement. Join the Discord, do the introduction. It's like when Duolingo, you know the little Duolingo bird, how it like threatens you for not doing the streak. That's what I'm going to do if you don't do your introduction. Don't get satisfied. You need to constantly have a new goal. I ran into this problem for a long time, where not only would I not have a new goal, but I would switch up my goal constantly. Stop switching up your goal. I made a video on this yesterday, I believe. Stop switching up your goal. Don't switch up your goal. You want to hit your goal and then switch it up. Or if the goal is something you really don't care about when you're like not even close to it and it's been a couple weeks or a couple months, then you can change it. But oh my goodness, you see people all the time like, I want to learn front lever and then I want to learn muscle ups, but also I want to learn planche, and like that's a lot of bicep involvement, so I can't like do muscle ups anymore because I have my biceps, and oh, but I want to get good at weighted pull ups. Oh my god, and oh wait, but like if I do all that stuff, then I can't do barbell rows, and I'm not training like my upper back muscles, and I'm going to get injured. And like I want those numbers to go up, and I want to get stronger there, and I don't want to just do one set a week because that'll just maintain, and I want to get stronger, and my ego's getting aside. And but I want to do dips and bench at the same time. Oh my god, but I need to learn handstand push-ups and 9-degree handstand push-ups. Calm the fuck down. The skills aren't going anywhere. It's like when you're eating super fast and you're like, nom, 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 and your mom's like, calm down, it's not going anywhere. Where the fuck are the skills going? Calm down. Pick one or two things to get good at, like a push or a pull skill, and then just go with it. And if you don't like it after 4 or so weeks, then you can switch. But at least stick with your training for a month. At least minimum. That's like bare minimum. That's like I'm making fun of you if you're only doing it for a month, and I'm making fun of me because I've done it in the past. I'm not saying I haven't, not even in the slightest, but just stick with it. That is everything. Join my community, GUO, Get Us Out, starting with calisthenics. This has been Brandon. Keep doing the best of doing your best. Trust God. Signing off.